What's up, guys? Maik Wiedenbach here, Mastermania, second try. I guess AT&T cut us off. German volume training. Everybody's done it who has ever picked up a bodybuilding book. So it's basically 10 by 10. So it's usually 10 sets of bench, 10 sets of rows, 100 reps total. It's quite efficient, works well, fat loss, muscle gain, and so on and so forth. So like, Mike, why are you revamping it? Well, because it's not perfect. So people start it, but very few people finish it. The reason being they get injured, they burn out, or they get bored. 10 sets of anything, I don't care how tough you are, is boring. So I took it upon myself, being German, to make it better. So the first thing I feel is that what the program is missing is that people usually are not ready to train. So, being a coach, like you have a guy come to the door, he comes from a board meeting or whatever, he's like, 10 sets of bench. He's not ready. So the first thing you need to do is activate those muscles. So they, as an example, having shoulders, showed them the whole thing, and back. We run you through. So for the back, what I would do is before I start my heavy stuff, I would do flex deadlifts, where I simply come to about here with a relatively light dumbbell, and then push those dumbbells by my body, thereby contracting my lats. Okay? You can try with a barbell, but dumbbells, they do work better. So I get maybe 3 sets or so of those. And then I would alternate with my shoulder exercise, which in this particular case would be just a very light X-Men. So to get the medial delt warm from here to here, you can also just go single arm, get a nice feel for it, nothing heavy. Then, the other thing I felt that was missing in general volume training was a power component. So the first 3 sets of exercises, the first block, I labeled them the power block. So for the back, one exercise I always really liked was the Meadows row. So it goes something like this, and pull, get a deep stretch in your lat. So you'll be shooting for about 6 reps. Then you take about 90 seconds, you go to the other power exercise, which for the shoulders, I set up this one here, a rack press with the chains. So basically, I would increase resistance as I press up. So it would be mid-shin level, inward intention, from here to here. So again, we don't want to break terminal tension, so you would not do this. You would keep it engaged at all times. So that's the so-called quote-unquote power block. From there on, I would move to what I call a neurological optimization block. For that, I like drop sets, mechanical drop sets that is. So for the lats, I set up a shoulder, a cobra set, where I'll be starting, leaning forward in a sort of not very advantageous position for my lats. So it would be mainly the origin of the lats that could work. And then as I fatigue, I would sit up straight and get maybe another 8 or so. And then from there on, I would fall back, turn my hands to about 1 degree, 30 degrees or so, 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and pull straight down for the third set, all in one set. So, you want to see this from the back, guys? To see what the back looks? Okay. So from the back, it would be, falling forward. That's obviously the hardest position. And then, as you fatigue, you sit up tall, and you're pulling the elbow straight into the rib cage. And then, lastly, involve your biceps a bit more, and you get the middle of the strength curve where you'll be just pulling, leaning back position. So there, I would do about 4 sets of that. For the shoulders, the way I set it up would also be a mechanical, with the most difficult exercise being the Arnold press, right? So you would get the rotation, and then after 6, I would shift the hands in a semi-parallel press, driving the elbows together without ever letting the dumbbells plunge, just driving the elbows together. And then when I'm truly fatigued, I would stand up and perform sort of a squat push press, thereby using my legs to get a couple more reps in. Okay. You want to see this from the front, guys? Or did you get it? Okay, so we do it again. We got it? Huh? Okay, good. So that would be the optimization block. And then from there on comes what Arnold so famously called the pump. There's always a couple of ways to play it. So for the lats, what I really like are stiff arm pull downs. Here I'll be going for about 20 reps or so for the last 3 sets. And I would alternate with for the shoulders, there's a couple of things you can do. One thing that's obviously really painful would be the Superman press for high reps. If you're like me and you're more on the wimpy side, I set up the kneeling cable. So the kneeling cable would be done also for, let's say, 30 reps or so. Grip would be about here, and you're driving the elbows together. So that would be the basic outline. Power, mechanical drop set, pump. Now from there on you can play around with things. So you could be doing the heavy stuff as a drop set, take off plates. You could be doing the power stuff with some, let's say, there could be your regular set. You could get a couple small reps about here, and you could have a hold and a very slow negative. Or for the back, my favorite thing is you're doing your stiff arm pull downs, and then you kind of like hit like a lat pose right away to optimize blood flow. But I feel this is a more interesting and effective way to get 10 sets in. 3 power, 4 metabolic drop sets, mechanical drop sets, and then 3 pump, as opposed to just like hammering away of 10 sets of 10, burning out your joints, losing focus, doing garbage reps, and becoming injured. So, sorry about the hiccup with the Wi-Fi. We'll be back Monday. Thank you, guys.